Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. Continuing the same pattern and series which we started with the planet Venus and Mercury, in this video we will have our discussion on the role of Saturn in our life in its purest of the essence. So guys, what we did in the previous two videos in the same concept was we narrowed down the chief attributes of the planet Mercury. Then we picked up the zodiac signs of the Mercury, wheresoever it will be falling for your specific ascendant, and then we narrow down the kind of role which Mercury plays for you. So like if Mercury represents intelligence, in which form intelligence in your specific lagna is going to be getting manifested. Same way we did the same analysis for the Venus. If Venus represents love, relationship, harmony, basis your ascendant, wheresoever its sign will fall, in which purest form you will exert yourself, you will behave in the matters of love and relationship. So now guys, following the same pattern, in this video we will have our discussion on the planet Saturn. So guys, to begin with, first of all, we have to narrow down the chief attributes of the planet Saturn as well. So like the way it has been written in majority of the classical text, that like the way you experience happiness and luxury through Venus, you experience fame through Sun. Same way you experience grief, diseases, suffering, punishment, imprisonment through Saturn. That is the only reason Saturn is the significator of majority of the Dushtana Bhava, like 6th house, 8th house, 12th house. But does that mean Saturn is only hard bent on giving us suffering? So guys, now comes the beautiful aspect and the greatness aspect of the planet Saturn. So if I mention that Saturn is also the Karaka of the Dushtana Bhava, so that in itself means that only if Saturn is going to be strengthened in your chart, you will have this capacity to withstand any sort of problems, resistance, any sort of competition. Second thing is that a justice as well, where it has got this department to monitor our actions and give us results accordingly. In the original Kalpurush Kundli, the signs ruled by the planet Saturn falls in the 10th house and the 11th house. So that in itself means that with how much conviction you will exert your actions, your professional endeavors, your capacity to ascend to the power position, and how much gains you will have in this life, how much of your wishes are going to be getting fulfilled in this life, all those departments are being ruled by the planet Saturn. So like the way guys, I always say this thing, if you want to be a mediocre, do something which is very temporary in nature, other planets can give you. But if you want to have that lasting fame, if you want to leave that legacy when you will be gone, Saturn has to be strengthened. If you want to cater to the masses, here I am not talking about elites or classes, here I am talking about that your name is going to be known in the nook and cranny. Like it's the Saturn only which gives us respect in the society. So Saturn has to be strengthened. Lastly guys, how long you will live. So age and longevity in a way is also being ruled by the planet Saturn only. One thing is for sure, that it's only one planet like make you very strengthened with struggle, with the hardship, and make you come out of all this hardship like a shining example of inspiration for the world. All of that power and potential Saturn only possesses in the astrology. So now guys, after knowing a little bit about the planet Saturn, definitely the whole concept is that we will be focusing more on the Kalpurush Kundli concept as well. I always say this thing, that do not get happy while looking at planets placement in your natal chart. Like I'm good friends with many Libra Lagna natives. A lot of them have got Saturn exalted in their first house even after that, because in the original Kalpurush Kundli, Saturn gets debilitated in the first house of the Aries. So that means even the Libra Lagna natives having Saturn exalted in their first house, they have to go through their own share of hardship, difficulties and adjustments. Now the case is that because Saturn is exalted, being the Yoga Karaka planet, when it will be happy with them, when it will be pleased with them, it is going to give them very good results as well. But yes, hardship from Saturn is something which no one can evade. And yes guys, one of the defining feature of the planet Saturn is delays. Like Saturn has got that Stambhan Shakti, it can slow down major areas of your life. But like the way it is a judge, so a judge is never going to deny you of the justice. So Saturn can delay, but it never denies. So yes guys, this is something, the basic attributes of the planet Saturn. Now we will try to understand its role specific to your lagna. that basis the signs where it is going to be falling, what kind of role it is going to be playing for you. Like the way, guys, I always say this thing, like if you have to monitor all those planets which has got a rulership over 2 zodiac signs, like for example, take up the case of the Mars. From its Aries to Scorpio, you have to go 8 places. For Venus, from Taurus like to Libra, you have to go 6 places. For Jupiter, for Mercury, you have to go 4 places. But when we talk about the planet Saturn, whatsoever actions you are doing, the gain of that is not very far. So that means if you are doing your job with honesty, integrity, doing hard work, and you have proven yourself of worth to the society, to the community, then the gain is also not that far. The 2 zodiac signs of the planet Saturn are somehow consecutive, they are next to each other. Now guys, now definitely we will shift our discussion to the customized results for all the rising signs. And what we are trying to do over here is that, see, I see Capricorn sign as the sign of our actions, status, moreover, like with how much conviction and integrity you will do your job, and how is your relationship going to be with the authority figures. And when I look at the Aquarius, definitely guys, it has to do with innovation, it has to do with the collective, it has to do with the humanitarian side as well. So via narrowing down the chief attributes of these 2 zodiac signs, now we will start our discussion on the role of the planet Saturn specific to your rising sign. So guys, starting first with the Aries Lagna. So guys, in your case, definitely, because your all the signs you will find as per the exact combination of the Kalpurush Kundli. Means a zodiac sign never gets perplexed being placed in a house which is in contradiction to its qualities. For the Aries, you will find everything completely perfectly aligned, a perfect equilibrium. So guys, for the Aries Lagna, just because Saturn has got a rulership over your 10th house in the 11th house, so that in itself means that Saturn becomes a very important planet for the Aries Lagna. Now it's a very amateur, mediocre approach to see Saturn as enemy to your ascendant lord and declare it as a non-friendly planet. But trust me, it's the planet Saturn only which holds this power to give the Aries Lagna Raj Yoga of the highest order. So the point which I'm trying to say over here is that definitely guys, for the Aries Lagna, Saturn does not judge your action, like judge action of any rising sign as much as it judges the Aries Lagna natives. So for the Aries Lagna specifically, being very like honest and doing your job with complete integrity becomes all time important for these natives. Second thing is that, like let's say for example, if you have already proven yourself, you have designed and lived your life as per the Saturnian principles, then definitely Aries Lagna natives definitely have got this innate potential and capacity to be a mass leader as well, to do something in the domain where you will have a very easy access and reach to the masses as well. And same way guys, like the way for example, if you have already proven yourself, so Aries Lagna natives, it's a very rare combination that you will find themselves to be denied of their due credit. Like definitely lot many has to go into play, but in its purest form you will definitely find Saturnian energy to be functioning in this regard. Now guys, when we talk about the Taurus Lagna natives, so guys, in your case Saturnian signs falls in your 9th house and the 10th house. Now what does it tell? It tells about that definitely all attributes and prospects of your luck is somehow gets ruled by the planet Saturn. So it hardly matters in which dignity Jupiter is placed in your natal chart. It hardly matters how much religious austerities you indulge in. But if your actions are questionable, if your actions are not very philanthropic, very charitable in nature, or they are not very grounded, they are not very humble, all of your actions, there's no sense of humbleness attached to it, then Saturn might not be very happy for you. So yes guys, when you talk about the typical precise role which Saturn plays for the Taurus Lagna native is about shaping up their destiny equivalent to the nature and the intent with which they are operating in the society. And let's say for example guys, if a Taurus Lagna natives find it easy for any access to any position or power. Like specifically if you are in a public domain and you have got this capacity to change the life of the people, change other people's life through your actions, through your decision making and all, so definitely they can actually do very good. And guys, when we talk about the prospects of the luck, it supports us in all avenues. Here we are not only talking about your one specific region or area of the life. We need luck like to have a very happy matrimonial life, to being well taken care by our family members, to be well taken care by in our like old age and childbirth, everything. So I mean to say that it's the Saturn only which has got a department of shaping up your destiny because of the actions which you are performing every day, and the immediate result of that happens and falls in the form of your public image. So one thing is for sure that, like the way I mentioned this thing, that Aries Lagna natives tend to remain very lucky that whatsoever they will be doing, their gains are in complete equivalency of that. Same way for the Taurus Lagna natives, their actions and the intent with which they have committed and done their actions will not only shape up their destiny, but it is going to be getting reflected in the form of their public image as well. Now guys, when we talk about the Gemini Lagna, so guys, in your case, definitely the two signs ruled by the planet Saturn falls in your like 8th house and the 9th house. Now how can we decode it? So first of all guys, one good aspect of the Saturn for you guys is that Saturn somehow slows the uncertainty aspect in your life, because Saturn sign falling in the 8th house, that to Capricorn, which is a very like a earth sign. So that in itself tells about that yes, it's the Saturn only which has got this possibility of not surprising you by throwing unpredictable, perplexing, sudden situation or threats in your life. Now guys, the good part is that definitely when we talk about the hidden or the unknown aspect, when we talk about something to do with the psychology, so all these are the attributes where Gemini Lagna natives can have a upper edge. And along with that guys, because somehow 8th house is strongly connected with the suffering as well. So let's say for example, if your actions majorly in the society are done in order to uplift people or help people come out of their misery, come out of their crisis, come out of their chaos or chaotic life situation, I would say this thing, that the immediate gain of that reflect in the form of luck supporting you in different avenues of the life. Like the way guys, merely looking at the chart, Lagna, and where the zodiac signs are falling, we can get to know that okay, this is the specific department or area where you can do something very substantial, where your name is going to be remembered for times to come. So I mean to say that definitely when we talk about the charitable aspect, when we talk about the domain of the psychology, when we talk about domain of something which is very hidden, taboo, prohibited, something which no one wants to talk about, only if you become a spokesperson, you become an advocate of all those kind of issues and matters, definitely it is going to help you or shape up your destiny, that every other avenue of your life you will find the gains and benefit of that. Now guys, when we talk about the Cancer Lagna natives, so definitely guys, in your case, Saturn has got a rulership over your 7th house and the 8th house. Now over here, it hardly matters whether Saturn is a good planet for you because of the Mool Trikona sign falling in the Dushtana Bhava. We are not concerned about that. All what we are trying to figure out is the role which Saturn plays for you in its purest of the form. So guys, just because to begin with, the Capricorn sign falls in the 7th house. Like the way we say this thing, that see, 7th house tells about the public encounters. Like the way I say this thing lot many times, you go out, someone helping out strangers, and we see people who get random violent attacked. These days I guess it was trending in New York. Something is happening that there's some kind of psycho guy who is just punching the girls out of nowhere, out of the blue. Lot many people recorded their ordeal and they reported that incident. So I mean to say, all those people who got afflicted, the victims of these kind of attacks, they must have their afflicted 7th house. Like the way I always say this thing, imagine me as a criminal who is out there on that spree to harm or attack someone. So out of the crowd of the people, so it's a psychological subconscious connection. So I am out there to do that felony, that crime. So I will only target those people, or only those people will fall prey to the trap who are going to have 7th house afflicted. So 7th and 8th, specifically 7th plays a very important role over there. So yes guys, in your case, now coming back to the point, so the Capricorn sign falls in your 7th house. So that in itself first of all begins with, and Cancer sign in your case is belongs to the original Kalapurush Kundali's 4th house energy. So doing something great in the public domain could be your forte. So like let's say for example, and we all know this thing that I guess Indira Gandhi ji, one of the very dynamic ex-Indian Prime Minister, she also had the Cancer Lagna. So Cancer Lagna natives, they come across as very emotional, intuitive, very nurturing. But let's say for example, if they are hard bent, if only they are going to channelize their emotions outward, they can do very good in the public domain. They have got this innate capacity. And guys, the good part is that, see, the thing is, you have to understand this thing. The way we say this thing, that only if you will you will try to remove the grief of other people, suffering of other people, it will help you get rid of your problems as well. And the more you will share your happiness, the more it is going to grow. So same way guys, only if you have this intent to do something good for the society, do those random act of kindness for the world. So definitely it is the right way of getting rid of any of those pent up energies, tension, nervousness, which might be troubling you or bothering you. So one thing which we get to know from the rulership of the planet Saturn is that Saturn definitely wants you to do charity, philanthropic, humanitarian work. That is how you can not only be remembered for times to come, because again guys, when we talk about like all those people whose name gets like kind of immortal, they get remembered. So you will definitely see, you will see the chart of Osho, so many people, they all are prominent 8th house people. So here the karma sign is falling in your 7th house of public, and the gains zodiac sign is falling in your 8th house of psychology, of immortality, of being remembered, psychology, getting rid of the problems and all. So that is how you can see the kind of role which Saturn is playing for you. So again guys, definitely there can be lot many interpretation as well. 7th and 8th house, it can also tell about some sudden speculative career related gains as well, or gaining from the joint resources as well. So many interpretation. And yes guys, no matter how much Cancer Lagna complains that, oh, I got a partner who's very serious, oh, I got married to someone, there's a long big age gap, this and that, but these are the only natives who end up gaining lot through the joint resources post marriage, post any partnership. Now guys, when we talk about the role which Saturn plays for the Leo Lagna natives, definitely guys, Saturn has got a rulership over your 6th house and the 7th house. Now the concept and the theory which we are following, so the karma sign falls in your 6th house. Now what does it tell about? Only if you have this capacity to do your job with complete integrity, honesty and all. And again guys, Leo Lagna natives are generally seen and perceived as the kings, as the born leaders. Why? Because they know how to exert the authority. How can be, I will not use the word dictator or autocratic, but definitely I will use a term that, you know, you can be very no nonsense kind of boss. So only if you are managing the responsibilities, duties which have been assigned to you, Saturn can actually make you a household name. So that is how you will feel the benefit coming to you. And again guys, generally the thing is that any abuse and misuse of the power allotted to you happen in the form of, like the way I mentioned, if your 7th house is not functioning well, so you know, getting betrayed in your public dealing, public encounters, or facing the heat within your matrimonial life as well. So all what matters, or all what Saturn wants you to do is that whatsoever responsibilities have been attached or assigned to you, with how much integrity, honesty and due diligence you are performing them, that becomes very important for the Leo Lagna natives. Now guys, when we talk about the Virgo Lagna natives, definitely guys, in your case, as you can see that Saturn has got a rulership over your 5th house and the 6th house. So what does it tell about? The karma sign of the planet Saturn falls in your 5th house, which is the house of your past life merits. 5th house is also the house of your intellect as well. So again guys, for the Virgo Lagna natives, monitoring, observing their thought process becomes very important. Like the way, see, if you go by the very micro analysis of the karma theory of the way Saturn function as per the Vedic scriptures, over there definitely it's like they say that Saturn is judging you not only from your action but also the kind of thoughts which are playing in your mind as well. So observing, monitoring your thoughts becomes very, very important. Also guys, because Saturn actually wants you to be humble, because fifth house also tells about, like, you know, when we talk about prestige and honor. And understand this thing guys, that I always go by the concept of the Kalpurush Kundli as well. You are a Libra Lagna, my favorite Lagna. Your Saturn is exalted in the first house, but the original Kalpurush Kundli first house is attached with the Aries, where Saturn attains debilitation. So that means in the fifth house, you'll find too much of the I, me, myself, honor, prestige, being in a limelight, the qualities of the Leo, which is in complete contradiction with the qualities of the planet Saturn. Saturn do not want the power to go to your head. Saturn wants you to be very humble. Saturn wants you to be very grounded. So yes guys, when we talk about karma theory, the way it functions for the planet Saturn for the Virgo Lagna natives, so definitely guys, doing something very original and build it into a business model, that is the kind of potential which the Virgo Lagna native holds. Because again, fifth house tells about, third house and fifth house plays a very important role when we talk about building something out of our own diligent, self-initiated efforts. So fifth house plays a very important role. Saturn's very fixed kind of energy. Like I would say that, okay, Capricorn is a movable sign, but I mean to say that earthy energy to do something, build something, where you are going to have your monopoly, that kind of potential Saturn holds. And everything starts from a right thought, a right idea which is planted in your mind. So my recommendation, or I would say this thing, that the kind of role which Saturn plays for the Virgo Lagna native is that your own mind is your biggest friend, your own mind is your biggest enemy. How you are using it, how you are channelizing it, it becomes very important. And if your actions, your mindset is of this thought process that I have to change, improve the lives of other people, of the world, so definitely guys, because the gains and recognition will come in the form of easy access to the power and all. Because only if you are working with this mindset that you have to help people get rid of their problems, which is the domain of the sixth house, then definitely that problem solving and that humanitarian mindset of yours, altruistic mindset of yours will be rewarded with giving you easy access to power as well. Now guys, when we talk about the Libra Lagna natives, so definitely guys, basis the theory that Saturn has got a rulership over your one of the angular house and the trine house, it becomes your like a Yoga planet. But what matters right now is that we are trying to understand the chief attributes of the planet Saturn, and basis the empty houses, what kind of role in a very precise, purest form Saturn plays for you. So guys, one thing is for sure that we say this thing that Saturn has got a rulership or command over the old age. So your domestic life and your experiences, because see, when we are old, we are being taken care by our children only. So in no other signs or ascendants case, Saturn gives that precise information as it gives for the Libra Lagna natives, that how their old age is going to be. Again guys, lot many people generalize that, okay, this is the house, this is the planet. No, in your case, it gives very precise information that fourth house is the emotional content and fifth house is progeny and all. So your old age and the Saturn's placement will give you the precise information for the Libra Lagna natives. Second thing is that definitely guys, doing something in the public domain is something which is being ruled by the planet Saturn. So in a way that, for example, if your mindset is to improve people's lives, your emotional content generally comes with doing random act of kindness, of helping people and all. So that is how you can definitely stand a chance for earning some good merits as well, like right set of thought process, right sort of business ideas, your capacity to ascend to position, power, recognition, limelight and all. So all of that is going to be governed by the planet Saturn because of the house concept and principles which we are using over here. So fourth house, which tells about the public domain, fourth house which also tells about, like when we talk about doing something in a field where you're giving security, stability, direction and guidance to the world. So if only you're working with that mindset, like the way guys, I've met many Libra Lagna natives. If I say it my favorite Lagna, so there are some reasons for that. I've seen many people who have built many old age homes, they have built many dharmshalas, many gaushala, who have got this Libra Lagna. So only if you have that mindset, you're not only restricting yourself only for your safeguarding your own personal interest. If you're working with this mindset that okay, I need to give security, stability to the general masses as well, definitely the benefit and the gains of that will come or will happen in the matters of your 5th house. So like the way guys, the concept which we are using is that your karma is attached where the Capricorn is falling, and the gains aspect is attached with the Aquarius is falling. So the 4th and the 5th combination is good in this domain in this way. So my recommendation to the Libra Lagna. Now guys, when we talk about the Scorpio Lagna natives, so first of all guys, I do not want to hear this explanation with this biasness in your mindset. Oh, Saturn is an enemy to my ascendant lord, it's not a very good planet for me. Trust me on this thing. Saturn only gives exaltation to your ascendant lord. It becomes the most important planet for you. So guys, going by the karma theory and the gains theory and all, Capricorn falls in your 3rd house. Now what does it tell about? See guys, there is one chief attribute which somehow coincides with the qualities of both Mars and Saturn is loyalty, conviction, friendship, and integrity with your word, with your actions and all. So my recommendation to the Scorpio Lagna native is that definitely it's the Saturn only which decide that whether you will have stability in your life or not, whether you have this capacity to build something completely with your own self-initiated efforts. Like the way guys, the theory which I gave for the Libra Lagna native is that in your case, how your old age is going to be is precisely decided by the placement of the and condition of the planet Saturn. And when we talk about for the Scorpions, whether you will be able to build something in this life, that is decided by the planet Saturn. Again guys, when I say build, it does not mean that you did your job or like you got retired, you bought a home, retirement home, and you completed your life. I'm talking about building a legacy, a empire, or something which is very eternal, very lasting in nature. That sort of empire I'm talking about. So it's the Saturn's placement only which decides that. Second thing is that, so guys, there's one thing which overlap both with the Saturn and Mars is your conviction, honesty, integrity. Mars is the planet of brotherhood, of without thinking anything, without thinking about the consequences, pros and cons, jumping into for safeguarding the interest of the friends, family and all. And Saturn also represents loyalty. So I mean to say, with how much conviction you stay firm in your word, with your friends, with your siblings, so all of that will definitely decide in which dignity Saturn is going to be rewarding you. Second thing is that Saturn's Aquarius energy falls in your 4th house. So definitely guys, like I have seen that many times, that when we talk about the kind of friends you have earned through, like this could be that when those people were in difficult dire times, you unconditionally help them, give favor to them and all of that. So that always circles back and comes to the Scorpions. So again guys, when we talk about the karmic cycle of the Scorpions or the poetic justice for the Scorpions, they face the heat majority of the times over there. Like if I were to say, and that is the only reason we say this thing, there is a notion that Sati becomes very difficult for the Scorpions, only because see, the thing is, there is a logic to that. Because your own actions are very secretive, very hidden, there is a lot of questionability attached over there, then only Saturn is going to give you problem, right? But let's say for example, you are a kind of person who's very dedicated, devoted and always driven towards helping people unconditionally, you have got very forgiving nature and all, then definitely your Saturn Sadhasati can actually help you build an empire as well. So the point which I'm saying over here is that when we talk about in the dire times, difficult times, or what actually touches them to their heart is the way they are being well taken care by their friends, their family, their references and all. So that definitely plays a very important role for the Scorpions. Now guys, when we talk about the Sagittarius Lagna natives, definitely guys, in your case, Saturn's ruled signs falls in your 2nd house and the 3rd house. Now there is not much to say over here. Like definitely for the Sagittarius Lagna natives, how much support they will get from their family or their immediate family members in order to do something in their life, that aspect is definitely ruled by the planet Saturn. Like the way we come across many people that you were a doctor or you were a lawyer or in whatsoever industry you got into, your family played a very guiding light, your family played a very guiding factor over there. But let's say, for example, same is the situation, if Saturn is ill placed in your natal chart, that will also decide that for your fall, for your like all sort of rejections and obstacles, your families like just because they kept on pulling the rug under your feet, they kept on pulling the support from the last minute, you were not able to do something, or you're not able to build something, or you still lack stability in your life. So all of that department and domain is somehow being ruled by the planet Saturn. So again guys, when we talk about your capacity, like the way guys, if you like, this is a quote which I give lot many times, that K.N. Rao sir has attached so much importance to the second house that he says that a prominent second house person is a person who is born with a mission. So that sort of conviction of doing something, or you know, to achieve something, like this could be for your personal good, or this could be, you could be a very patriotic, saintly person who is hard bent on doing something for removing the suffering of the humanity. So I mean to say that that department somehow is being ruled by the planet Saturn. So again guys, precisely in the matters of the family support and your finances and your capacity to accumulate, amass and build something is something which is being ruled by the planet Saturn. So this is where the karma theory will work for you, and how you will behave in those circumstances, how you will behave in those outcomes which life will throw at you. The outcome, the gain part of that will be determined on the basis of the kind of connections, the kind of friends, the way with how much conviction you will be exerting your efforts in the society. Are you going to be a person who is very intimidated, who is very easy to be bullied around, or are you a person just because you are so grounded and rooted and supported by your family, your friends and important people that everyone is scared of you? So all of that department is being ruled by the planet Saturn. Now guys, when you talk about the Capricorn, now do not be in this impression that Saturn is your ascendant lord, so you are going to get easy access. Like I would rather say that because your ascendant is being ruled by the Saturn, so no one else gets judged more than the way Saturn judges you. So guys, in your case, Saturn has got a rulership over your ascendant and the second house. Now what does it tell about? So again guys, your whole life is somehow is being monitored and judged by the planet Saturn right from the day you were born in this, on this planet, and the day when it is going to be the last day on the earth. So do not be in this impression that you're only be getting judged when the Sade Sati will come, or when the Sade Sati or when the Saturn Dasha is going to come. You are always in the scrutiny. Again guys, for the Capricorn Lagna natives, definitely they find it very easy to ascend to position, power, authority and all. That becomes, they somehow find it very easy. So this could be a case that the way they get the planets aligned in their chart, I can do a scrutiny or analysis of all the zodiac signs and the planets, but right now focus is only Saturn. So guys, one thing is for sure, that definitely your actions, and if they are being put with conviction, with hard work, with this intent to remove the suffering of the world or to do something to improve the lives of the world, the gain comes in the form of, like this could be a case that you have this capacity to build something, or destiny or the universe has provided you with a specific mission. Again guys, this is one thing which I want to say for the Capricorn Lagna natives, that see, for the failure and success, what matters the most is how easy, how early or how late you are being given your life purpose. Like the way, if I were to share my own experience, before getting full time into astrology, I tried my hands in hundreds of things. I did sales job, I did marketing job, I sold credit cards, I sold properties, I gave tuitions, I did menial jobs, I waiter around when I was in Canada. I did all kind of jobs, but only when I got into astrology, I got to know my life purpose. The good, and it happened little late. So the good thing which worked with the Capricorn Lagna native is that they find it very easy that whatsoever they are cut out for, they get access to that very early, very easy. Now again guys, there is a point of difference over here. Success might come late to you because it's a Saturn, but the purpose and putting your efforts in the right direction will happen early for you. This is one thing which is somehow the planetary alignment and the house alignment theory works in your case. So ascendant being ruled by the planet Saturn, your actions are always being monitored, observed, and the immediate gain in the form of right mission, your capacity to be well supported by your family, kith and kin generally happens in a very easy way for the Capricorn Lagna. So the good part over here is that karma is something, and the judgment and justice and the scrutiny of the planet Saturn is something which is round the clock is observing you, and if you have passed the test, the result generally comes in the form of what you will build in this life, or universe will serve you or give you a medium to fulfill a specific mission. Now guys, when we talk about the Aquarius Lagna natives, so guys, in your case definitely Saturn has got a rulership over your 12th house and the ascendant lord only. So first of all, forget this thing that if Saturn is your ascendant lord, so you are going to get easy access to anything. Now the concept which we are using is that after understanding the chief attributes of the planet Saturn, we are trying to understand the karma theory and the gains aspect, how it happens and function in our life. So guys, one thing is for sure that the Aquarians have to learn to function when being left alone, to be a lone wolf. Now why I am saying this thing, because the karma sign falls in your 12th house. So if you have this mindset that only if I'll be well supported by the people, by opportunities, by a right platform, then only I'm going to do something. So if you have this mindset, trust me, you'll be waiting for the rest of your life for the right set of opportunity, right set of platform. I still remember when I was in this job, I had one friend who was a good looking lad, tall, slim. He was a bodybuilding buff as well. And I used to tell him that, bro, I'm thinking about starting my channel. I've done enough courses on astrology, mystic sciences. I'm thinking about starting my channel. Oh, Nipun, I'm also thinking about the same. I bought my camera equipments and all. And he said, I'm still thinking about it. I posted my first 50 videos. I'm still thinking about it. So if you have that mindset that right opportunities will strike your doors, for the Aquarius Lagna, this is not going to be the reality. So that is the first thing. Second thing is that if life will put you in those kind of situations, circumstances, being living far away from the comforts of the family, support of the family, or doing something or working in a field or department which is very hidden, which is very taboo, regarding which no one is willing or ready to talk about, or let's say for example, you spent major area and venue of your life in only finding your purpose. Now guys, over here the theory works like the way, for example, I said for the Capricorn Lagna natives that they find it very easy to find their mission or purpose, life purpose, bit early in the life. Success might come later, but they will be putting their efforts in the right direction. For the Aquarius Lagna natives, the difficulty or the challenge of the life is that they generally even find their purpose, what they are cut out or meant for, little bit late in the life. But once they find it and they unconditionally put themselves at, definitely success also comes. Because again guys, if Saturn has got a rulership over the two signs, basis the Kalpurush theory which we are following, so if the karma falls in the 10th and the gains fall in the 11th, so for the Aquarians is the gain sign only which becomes your Lagna. So that means then your whole life witness upliftment when the success comes, like your matrimonial life, your personal happiness, leaving a legacy, building an empire, everything happens. But yes, this is how the energy of the planet Saturn function for the Aquarians. And guys, when we talk about the Pisces Lagna natives, so guys, in your case, going by the same empty house theory of where the karma sign of the planet Saturn in the form of Capricorn falls in your chart, and where the gain sign of like Aquarius falls in your natal blank chart, we're trying to understand the role of the Saturn in a very precise way. So guys, in your case, Capricorn sign falls in your 11th house. Now what does it tell about? Definitely guys, one thing which you have to learn is that no other ascendant has to face their choices and the consequence, the after effect of their choices and decision making, as much as the consequence of that, the accountability of that which the Pisceans have to face. Because in your case, how you balance the weighing scale of profits, of losses, of people who are an asset in your life and people who are a liability in your life, which Saturn monitors or judges in your case. So guys, one thing is for sure that the karma sign of the planet Saturn falls in your 11th house. Now when we talk about the 11th house, which has to do with the group activities, which has to do with our humanitarian gestures and all, so actually and definitely Saturn wants you to be associating with those kind of groups and associating your name with those kind of clubs and membership which are actually helping you progress in the life. Like they are not those people or groups which are helping just as a release, as a medium to get rid of your pent up energies and all. Saturn actually wants you to associate with those kind of groups which are actually contributing something towards your life purpose, towards the things which you are meant to do or meant to achieve in the life. Like the way, guys, ever since I came to India, I'm not a Pisces Lagna, but still, ever since I came to India, you will only find me associating with those groups and all which are serving some purpose. Same was the case in Canada, even in the apps. Like I even uninstalled Netflix and all the OTT platforms as well, because I only want to be around the energies which are contributing something towards things which I have to do, the knowledge which I have to gain. So that is the one thing which Saturn actually rules in your case, and how the gains and the reward from the Saturn comes. That generally happens in the domain of the 12th house. Now you will be saying this thing that, okay, how come the gains come from the 12th house of losses? So generally, guys, the gains come in this form that Piscean Lagna at a very latter stage of their life. Now definitely a lot is dependent on the evolutionary level of the soul. They are like those elevated saints who are born with that sort of detached sense right from an early half. And for a normal human, sometimes it takes their whole life to learn the concept of detachment. So I mean to say that definitely the vicissitudes of the life or the great reward comes from the Saturn in a form of awakening their kundalini, awakening their chakras, that sort of elevated sense of conscious awareness, being able to judge people just looking at their face. Along with that degree and sense of staying detached while fulfilling their duties and responsibilities is something where the true reward comes for the planet Saturn. And again, guys, a lot many times what happens is that whatever we are doing, we do not know how universe is responding to our actions. Like the way we are living in a day and age of Rahu, I do not know how many people from which part of the world they might be watching my content, but you never know, later on in the life, 10 years down the line, without expecting anything, someone out of nowhere, out of the blue comes and appreciate me for what I have been doing. Like lot many creators, lot many jubilant people, they share their stories, right? That I met someone who came and told me that, okay, your work or your life only inspired me, it changed my life. So the reward from the planet Saturn generally comes in this form for the Pisceans. So yes, guys, this is something which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs, and whatever I've shared over here, if you have some more things to add, please do share it in the comment section. And for further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on my Instagram account. Dhanyavad.